The weekends is back again, and let's look at some of the games that we played this weekend. Starting from the English Premier League, Arsenal will be taking on Bournemouth, and this is going to be an early kickoff. We know Arsenal won by 1 goal to nil against Sporting CP, and coming into this game, their one eye will be on the Sporting CP game at the Emirates Stadium. But for me, I think Arsenal needs to focus more on the English Premier League. They need to make sure that they win this particular game. It's going to be a very, very, very important game, and a must win for Arsenal as they want to keep tab on the title race. Now, Bournemouth have not won a single game in their last 5 matches, and also they have not lost a single game in their last 5 matches. The last time they drew 2-2 against Manchester United, which means that they are some kind of team that can actually cause havoc on you. So Arsenal needs to be very, very careful. They need to start their best possible lineup and make sure that they grab this win instead of trying to keep one eye in the Champions League and also this particular game and end up losing points here. So that is it for me. I predict Arsenal to defeat Bournemouth by 2-1. Now let's move to Liverpool versus games. Fulham. Now Liverpool have lost 2-0 against Paris Saint-Germain, and Paris Saint-Germain will come into the Anfield. Now, this Anfield is no longer the Anfield that we used to know, and I don't think Liverpool will be able to dominate Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield. The least they can do is to get a draw at Anfield. So, with the Champions League qualification at stake, I think Liverpool needs to put their mind on this particular game, start their possible lineup, and make sure that they grab a win. Now, in their last 3 games, they have failed to win a single game. They've lost all: 2 against Paris, 4 against Man City, and then also 2 against Brighton. They only won against Galatasaray and 2 against Tottenham. That is a very, very bad performance. Now, Fulham also won 2 in their last 5 matches and then drew 1 and then lost 2. So for this game, I'm expecting goals to score. Both teams are going to score in this particular game, and then also I expect some kind of a 2-2 draw in this particular game. Now, let's go to La Liga. In La Liga, we have Barcelona versus Espanyol. Barcelona is seeking to come back against Atletico Madrid at the Wanda Metropolitano, and it is going to be a very, very difficult game. Now, Real Madrid is playing today, and if Real Madrid wins today, the gap will close. And then FC Barcelona, if they want to focus more on the Atletico Madrid game and drop points against Espanyol, it might actually cost them. So for me, I think FC Barcelona will try their possible best to win this particular game, but this game might not actually see some kind of high goal scoring. I expect at least a 2-0 win for Barcelona or a 1-0 win for FC Barcelona. Now, let's go we have Inter Milan. AC Milan, will take on Udinese. AC Milan, they won 3 in their last 5 games, and they lost. Their last game was against Napoli, whereby they lost by 1-0. They also lost against Lazio, whereby Udinese won 2 in their last 5 matches, drew 2 and then also lost 1, and that was against Juventus. Now, when you look at it on the table, AC Milan is third position with 63 points. Third position with 63 points. Como is also 58 points behind AC Milan, which means that the qualification spot is under threat. And consider the fact that AC Milan is playing at home. They have averaged at least a goal in all their matches that they have played. And so what I'm expecting from this game, I expect AC Milan to come out fully. I'm expecting a 2-1 win for AC Milan. Now, Atlanta will be taking on Juve. I think in this particular game, we will see a high goal scoring. At least 4 goals should come out from this game. So I'm expecting a 2-2 draw in this particular game. Now, let's move to the Bundesliga. We have Dortmund versus Bayern Leverkusen. For Bayern Munich, they have already won the Bundesliga. Now, Dortmund is 64 points behind Bayern Munich, and also in terms of the top 4, they are secured. Bayern Leverkusen is fighting to finish in the Champions League spot, and then in their last few games, they have actually scored a lot of goals. They beat Wolfsburg by 6-3, drew 3-3 against Heidenheim, and drew 1-1 against Bayern, 1-1 against Arsenal, lost 2-0 against Arsenal. So, and then Dortmund also have won their last 4 games and lost only 1, and even in that one, they scored 2 goals against Bayern Munich. So in this game, I'm expecting no less than 4 goals in this particular game. I'm expecting a 2-2 draw for this particular game. Now, Bayern Munich will be taking on St. Pauli. Bayern Munich, for now, I think they wouldn't put much concentration on the league. because they still have a game. They still have a score to make sure that they maintain that particular lead against Real Madrid. And I think in this particular game, Bayern Munich will rest some of their players. Irrespective of them resting their players, I think they still have enough quality to be able to pull through against St. Pauli. So I'm predicting Bayern Munich to defeat St. Pauli by 2-1. We have Manchester City versus Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. The last game they played at the Emirates, it was a 1-1 draw, and that was a game McFarlane actually took over as an interim manager. Now Manchester City defeated Arsenal and defeated Liverpool, so they are on charge. And then Pep Guardiola's new system is actually paying off. Chelsea also lost their 4 out of their last 5 matches, and the last game was against Port Vale, whereby they scored 7 goals, which will actually give them a morale booster. Now, coming into this game, Chelsea needs nothing but a win. Even a draw will not actually order well for Chelsea, consider the fact that the top 4 is at stake, or the top 5 is at stake, and Manchester City too wants to make sure that they pull or they close the gap on Arsenal. I think that this particular game might actually end in a draw. I'm predicting a 2-2 draw for this particular game. Now, Como versus Inter Milan. Cesc Fabregas has really done well with this Como side, and Inter Milan are on top of the Italian Serie A with 72 points. That means that the league unless something untoward happened, but they are actually on course to winning the Scudetto this season. Como, who is also fighting so hard to finish in the Champions League spot, they have not lost a single game in their last 5 matches. Inter Milan has been some kind of bad run in terms of form. They've won only 1 and then lost 1. They drew 3 in their last 5 matches. The last time they played against Como, they drew 0-0 and they got eliminated through a penalty spot kick. Now, in this particular game, Como is playing at home, and we know how good these guys are. I am expecting not less than 2 goals in this particular game. I'm expecting a kind of 1-1 draw or a slight 2-1 win for Inter Milan.